All right, hold on to your hats and welcome to an addicting episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host once again, Nick Harmon. With us today for their second appearance is Monica Schafer and Judd Togerson out of Paonia. They run a company called Paonia Property Services, and for this show, you could go to our Instagram, Facebook page and listen live. We actually went live on this show and we cover a variety of things. I wanted to catch up with them because Monica was talking to me about going into a supply house in Montrose, the drywall supply yard, and talking with the owner, Nick Boyd, about different applications, and she didn't realize that there were all these different types of plaster systems and applications. And we started talking about drywall and different wall applications and preparatory services and comparing to Fresco Harmony and the variety of different sales possibilities available.
I'm supposed to be just a painter, and here you come in, and now all of a sudden I'm telling people I can do Cadillac showers.
We're not going to say that.
Who am I kidding? No, but I really can, and I really want to, and I'm really excited about it.
You should. And I think that's... Wait a second. Is Asia's chiming in now?
Yeah.
On with music playing, so I can barely hear them, but I can hear her.
That's funny. I can't believe you can hear Monica.
I know. It's so weird.
This is a pretty raw show due to the nature of going live on the Fresco Harmony page, and it's a lot about Fresco Harmony, but one thing is for sure, Monica and Judd are just as amazing as they were all the way back on episode 117. You need to check that out if you haven't, albeit a little more knowledgeable about drywall and specialty wall finishes. Beginning a month can be bittersweet on the Drywall Podcast because sometimes we have to say goodbye to our previous sponsor, but not this month. This month, we are ushering CanAm Tools back. They are doubling down in the month of March, and we couldn't be more appreciative to them. Not only that, they are launching more new tools that you will have a chance to win. Okay. The original inventors of the semi-automatic drywall taping and finishing tools are back. Whether you're a hand finisher ready to level up your game, or you are a machine taper looking for tools that make tough spots a little easier, CanAm has been solving those problems longer than anyone else on the planet. They're also looking for dealers across the U.S. who want to carry a proven Canadian brand with 50 years behind it. Check them out at canamtool.com. For this month's giveaway, CanAm is doing something a little special for you. This one's for all you lazy asses who didn't enter the last ice bath giveaway. They are giving you a second chance. CanAm is continuing the trend of launching new tools on the Drywall Podcast and giving you a chance to win them before the rest of the market. Join me in the ice bath at the end of this month for 3 chances to win once again. First up, once again, is the 32-inch applicator tube with extendable handle. It is still unreleased. That will be the first prize. Second place will receive a gold core inside corner roller, still unreleased. You've seen the sweet pictures of it. You love it. Lastly, and last place will receive the outside corner applicator. This is unreleased and is new, and I still need to get my hands on this baby so that I can make some videos and check it out myself to give you information on that. CanAm wants to extend this prize offer to all of the Drywall Podcast listeners far and wide because that's just how they roll. Given that CanAm tools are trusted by pros around the world, they feel it's a great way to acknowledge not only their fans in Canada, but also the international community. Lastly, be sure to check out my interview with the great Wolfgang Dombrowski of CanAm Tools, episode 44. It was a long time ago, but it's a great episode and holds a special place in my heart. It's because of sponsors like CanAm that I get to bring you awesome shows each month, so thank you. But for now, we catch up with those rascals, Monica Schafer and Judd Togerson out of Paonia, Colorado, on the 164th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it. So I haven't hit the button yet, but see, that's live. That's live Instagram, but we're not on.
It's done?
So I'll set this here. They just won't be able to see you. But I can do this and introduce them and stuff.
They won't be able to see me?
Yeah, unless I set it like this. So
you're good.
I can switch the camera. And then they would see this while I'm live. I've never done it. Yeah, I think you can do that on TikTok as well. But the only problem. Oh, you know what?
Well, we could always check it out if you want to go live. I could be on my laptop looking to see if both vocals work. Oh,
let's do it. Here we go.
And I'll see it.
You'll probably get. So I'm live on the Fresco Harmony page.
Right, but there's going to be a difference between the app and the website. The website.
No. I am live on the app.
Yeah, so on my app it says you're live.
Yeah, go to it.
But on my laptop, when I'm in Instagram.com, it won't.
Don't go into Instagram on your laptop because that's for Zoom.
But on my laptop. Okay, I can hear you and me on the live. We're good.
Instagram on your laptop because that's for Zoom. Okay, now you have to turn the volume down on that on your phone.
Got it. But I just want to make sure that we could hear both of us, and we can.
Yeah, I'm doing a hello everybody in Instagram world. We're going live, but I am doing a interview with Monica and Judd Togerson out of Paonia, Colorado, and Monica called me a little while ago. I have to face both. Monica called me a little while ago, and she had an interesting question about plaster and fresco harmony. These two are painters normally, but and I can give you a shot. I can give you a shot of these guys, and I mean we could even leave the live feed like this too, and then I can just. So check your phone out. Now you can see you guys on your phone.
There we are.
Trippy, huh? Okay, so, and the audio should be good on both. So I'm also recording a podcast to talk about some of the differences with plaster versus fresco harmony. You guys, I would put you in the DIY category for fresco harmony. I wouldn't consider you but maybe professional painters. But I wouldn't consider you I get followed by a lot of drywallers. So Monica also had questions about a ceiling that they're doing, and they're considering doing it in fresco harmony, and the ceiling is just drywall. It needs to be finished. And you were asking well, what do I finish it to? Can I just do fresco right over the seams? And I'm like, no, you got to tape and bed the seams. And we'll get into that too. But we also talked about you went into Montrose, which is a close city in Colorado to Paonia, and you started talking to Nick Boyd over there, who sells fresco harmony at the Drywall Supply Yard.
Yep.
And Nick, he sells fresco harmony, but he's trying to sell you on plaster. And I'm like, I called Nick and I was like, hey, Nick, if somebody comes in, if I send somebody to your store, don't try selling them on plaster, dude.
You called him out, huh?
I don't care. He never called me back. But he's kind of an elusive fellow. But Nick Boyd, the owner of New Mexico Plaster Supply the Drywall Supply Yard in Montrose, has done Fresco Harmony. And he was saying, oh, it's kind of soft, which I've gotten that feedback also before. We're going to talk candidly about Fresco Harmony. And I'm also going to try to look at my Instagram live feed. And if somebody has a question on the live feed, I can see it. I could also invite you guys into the live feed as well, but I think this should operate fine. They should be able to hear you on the phone, and we're also recording on Zoom. So let's start with the drywall. You had a question about the drywall and were wondering about taping and finishing drywall.
Right. Well, so our question, it wasn't necessarily a ceiling. It was what they did was they had a wall built in the middle of the room to create a closet space. So the drywall, it's just a wall that was built in a previously done room and the wall has a door space to create a closet space behind it.
Right.
So it's fresh drywall, but the drywall meets latex paint on either side, as well as the ceiling. And the ceiling and the walls are textured.
Like textured paint.
Textured paint.
Yeah.
So the question was, since the drywall wasn't obviously, it was an after thought to put this closet in.
Yep.
And since it's not done to completion with taping and mudding, we were thinking we were going to have to tape and mud up onto the ceiling. But then the idea would be that we would have to match the texture and repaint and do all those things after the fresco.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would be hopeful that there would be a different plan of attack for areas like this where, and I'm sure people have done it before.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Where they meet a drywall, they meet a painted wall with Fresco Harmony without having to complete the drywall. And
I think he understands what you're getting at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that
So, and I'll explain. Like, so there's a transition, a wall ceiling transition. The wall is not finished because it's a new wall, and the ceiling is finished. So there's a gap there. You have a gap between the wall and the ceiling. Now, people would think, oh, can I just caulk that, or can I just mud it in? And you can.
That was my fault.
You can, but it's going to crack. Like, so also with new wall, you might get movement there as well. So like a lot of shifting anyways. And this occurs around fireplaces. So they'll put in like a Kiva fireplace. A lot of times on plaster fireplaces too, it's drywall, but then they don't attach the plaster fireplace to the drywall, to the wall. And how you do that is you angle tape it just like regular drywall tape in your corner. So you would corner it and then you would mud both sides. The problem with that though is now you've got a mudded taped seam across your ceiling. So in that instance, you would need to feather that texture, match it, and paint that little transition. And if the paint's old, now you're getting wrapped into painting the whole ceiling to make it look uniform. So that's the proper way. Now, there's another way that you could flat tape, what's called flat tape. You could flat tape up to the ceiling or use L metal. But you're going to leave sort of it doesn't look like a finished corner. It would look like a non-finished corner.
On that topic that she mentioned, there's like an insert. I've only seen it briefly inserted around windows where you mud up to a certain point and then you tear away the edge and it leaves a perfect edge.
Did you get that?
But it's around windows, probably most utilized to butt up against the box or something like that.
Yeah, they call it tearaway. And they do that for around beams as well. So you get a nice tight seam around the beam. If you're doing fresco on the wall, I don't see any problem with that because you have two different surfaces. You have a fresco harmony surface meeting a painted textured surface. So it would look kind of like your fresco harmony just ends and your, painted surface begins. If it was me, I would tape that corner. I would match the texture a little bit there where it comes onto the ceiling. And I actually have a photo of a fireplace that I did where we had to do this, and you can see the faux texture, and they were going to paint it themselves. And I was like, okay, I'll texture it and get it ready for you, and then you guys can paint it. I was just frescoing the fireplace. So it happens like around fireplace.
So you had the prior to applying your fresco, you did tape the seam to the ceiling. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
How you're getting at?
Yep.
And that was just typical joint compound, feathered it out and made it, left it raw. And then you did fresco up to that point, to that corner.
Yep. That's exactly what I did. Yeah.
And so have to prime and paint the ceiling on, but because you covered already the fresco with your ceiling. If
you're listening and you're a pro drywall person, pro drywall people know this, but this is more of a DIY question, like around surrounding drywall. And there's a lot to drywall that I think, people think, oh, I can just do drywall. But as you guys have known, diving into the mud world, there's kind of a lot to it. How even mud consistency and things like that, and taping your seams and stuff. But
and we're in a county where there's no codes.
Well, having
no building codes.
Well, so we're trying to do the best we can. So who cares?
Well, because
if there was a code, we'd follow it. Who cares?
Because it's a big challenge. Like when we're coming in to do previously done work, or previously like this drywall is all done wrong.
It's all done wrong. They didn't stagger any seams.
Okay, so you're getting lots of cracks.
They haven't done anything yet. They didn't. It's just drywall pieces like a puzzle, and all the seams match horizontally, vertically throughout the ceiling, and even over the window header, they put two vertical and then just put another piece there.
Okay, all right. So this is a good question. So we've got a couple drywallers have joined us. Drywall Jesse, the Newfie Taper.
Hey, Jesse.
If you guys have a suggestion. So for existing drywall where they didn't stagger the seams and it's running maybe like fiber tape or something that's a little strong, fiber tape and quickset might hold it better. Some method that's going to hold those, to prevent those seams from cracking, more so than just normal taping, then please chime in or let these guys know if there's something they can do. But at the very least, you're going to finish that drywall normally. If they hung it, you're not responsible for cracking after the fact. And that's something that you would let the client know. Hey,
she's like, if I have to sign something that says that I know that you can't guarantee the job, I'll sign anything, because they know that they got basically screwed. They had a contractor come in and they just didn't do proper job. And now
they're like
we're stuck with
hang drywall we're going to hang drywall up on these walls. And there's a method not only for shear strength on the wall, how you hang drywall, but how you hang it so that it's not going to crack out later.
Well, and ironically, this was why I told her that fresco would be the best product for this situation, is because the drywall was a mess. I mean, there's boards where they've taken it down and put them back up.
Right.
And so seams are a mess, gaps are a mess. And I said, in order to come in and try to make these look paintable is going to be absurd. I think you should just fresco this whole thing. And it was like,
well, the advantage that you two would have in that scenario is that you have to finish the seams and butts. We were talking about seams and butts, like the recessed edges versus where the sheetrock butts up against itself versus like so you want to tape and at least one coat those. And if you're doing fresco, the advantage to you guys is that it doesn't have to be perfect. You can it can be kind of ugly, because you're learning. But my suggestion would be is there's a couple of people out there in the Instagram world, like the dude I just interviewed Ken Landon, Kenny's drywall tips. Like he just started doing like drywall tips, and I interviewed him a long time ago, like 2 years ago. And he's like a brewer, but he's done drywall his whole life. And he started making really simple videos for DIYers, and they go in order, like how you mix the mud, putting the tape on. Drywall Shorty also has a ton of videos where you can watch, like how do you put on the tape, what your mud consistency should be, how to feather your base coat. So when you do go to do that drywall, you're going to want to put your tape on, it's not rocket science. You get the mud behind the tape. You want to have plenty of mud on there, and then you wipe it in. Second coat, you're going to want to just cover the tape with a 8-inch knife. And then you cover it once, feather your edges as best you can. Now, theoretically, over that, you could do fresco harmony. The advantage to you guys would be you didn't have to finish that seam 2 or 3 times, sanding dust all over her house, and then you still have to texture and paint because it's not going to be smooth finish, or you would have to match the existing texture on the ceiling. So what you're going to do is just do a beautiful fresco harmony wall. You don't have to paint, and get the hell out of there.
And forgive me, but I didn't make this clear to you either. So the wall, the accent wall, the new build wall, is in a separate bedroom.
It's like a fraction of the job.
It's in a separate bedroom from the main, the master bedroom is in its entirety being covered with fresco, ceiling walls going into the kitchen and the living room.
Okay.
This additional wall is in a different bedroom. So like that's one wall.
So maybe you'd have to make it into an accent wall, or
it's an accent wall.
Okay.
It is an accent wall.
They're cool with doing an accent wall.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm wondering, what would you suggest in the case that I don't, or there's no budget for completing the drywall, going over the walls and the ceiling and doing the drywall the right way? Is there a way that the outlook or the outcome of the look is nice and decent and clean?
Yeah.
But maybe it's not fully fixed. I don't, obviously
it would be fully fixed. I like Judd's idea of the tearaway along the ceiling. That would prevent getting into messing with that ceiling if you don't have to.
Right. And it just leaves that nice white tiny line, right? I mean,
kind of a cool, you could even do like that tearaway all the way around, because I assume that wall goes down onto the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. You could also they have reveal bead. You could actually leave a purposeful 1/2-inch reveal, which would
when you said L metal, I was thinking of that.
Yeah, well, L metal just kind of goes in. L metal is essentially the same thing as tearaway bead. The tearaway bead has a tearaway strip that helps it to be masked, so you don't get mud on the ceiling. And then when you're done mudding, you pull away the tearaway bead. You tear away your masking. Essentially, that's what it is. But it's L metal. That's all it is. L bead. And Trimtex carries that.
Does it leave a shiny metal?
No, it would be like maybe a white bead, but you would want to cover that with your color. Like I don't think you would see it. I think it would be a nice clean finish. I would consider it in that situation to be unorthodox a little bit, because a drywall finisher would just tape those seams. But I think you could save a lot of time maybe, or not, because you still have to corner bead. You'd have to do the tearaway bead and finish that tearaway bead once before you start the fresco. So is that more or less work than matching the texture?
You already have to finish the mud and tape. There's no mud and tape anywhere on any of this fresh drywall.
That's true.
So we'd have to.
This would just prevent you from having to match the texture and any of the paint.
I think, yeah. So there's a lot of there's only one small fraction where we're going to try to blend or have to retexture the ceiling where that addition of this new wall is. But the rest of it is going to be all of us to perform from zero to finish. And I think, first off, the biggest hurdle, I'm confident with all the taping, all the seams and all that. But what concerns me is the non-staggered seams. And that solution to that would be, one way is, well, we have to replace some of these to stagger it. Is that what's more important? Or can we get on with what is already there to be satisfying? That's the main hurdle.
If she's cool with it, I would get on, because she wants to save money. You have to charge for this. I would get on with what's there and be like, if these crack out, they might crack out. We talked to our friend Nick. He said they might crack out. We're gonna finish them, and I would recommend maybe quick set and fiber tape might be stronger than paper tape.
Would you consider, because because of the situation, instead of the 2-inch, would you go to a wider fiber fuse, like a 6-inch, to give it even more? Would that help?
I was thinking that. I was kind of thinking that 6-inch fiber fuse is pretty badass stuff, and that might give it a more robust. It might give it more girth.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would use quick set. That's also going to be stronger.
Yeah.
And it's
to fill gaps and to tape or fiber fuse.
Fiber fuse, but I would use a quick set on all my finishing before fresco.
Okay, great. That's great to know.
Quick set for both coats.
Yeah, for the tape. Yeah, for everything, because it's gonna mesh into that fiber fuse and make a strong bond.
Okay, and it doesn't matter. There's no difference really, except for time on, 45, 90, 5, 20.
I'd use 90 because you're getting the strength, you just have more working time. So if you're not good with mud, if you're not as fast with mud, give yourself as much time as possible. So a bag will make about a half a bucket. And I would do like 90-minute, but that shit's going to start going off on you.
Yeah.
So you want to get it on the wall. A half a bucket's even kind of a lot. That's like a bag. So 3/4 to a half of a bag, you put water in first and you measure it with your mixer. So you put your mixer and you kind of measure up how much material you want to make. It's just like making pancakes. And then you add the quick set, just like pancake mix, and you get it to your consistency that you want by adding the material as you mix. And, for your tape coat, you want that thinner, a little thinner mixture. For your bed coat, you want it a little thicker, but not like rock hard, because then you're going to have fatty edges that you can't sand away. They'll show up even through the fresco. You want nice feathered edges. Yeah, you don't want to put too much material. Big mistake with DIYers is putting too much material on, then you're grinding it away, because the quick set is harder to sand. It sets up harder. It's more concrete versus ready mix, which you can brush away pretty easily. Whatever.
Well, we did deviate from how to solve this drywall seam issue from what was kind of your original statement, from the softness of fresco as opposed to.
So Monica, you went to the drywall supply yard, and Nick Boyd starts to sell you on he starts to educate you on the different types of wall applications.
Correct. So as a painter who always thought I would just be a painter, I never really thought I'd step into a drywall company going, oh my God, I use more than half of all these products that they sell here. And getting into Fresco Harmony obviously was our first step at getting into wall treatment options versus just painting and texturing. So now that we've gotten in and gotten
did you look at faux finish options though?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you want to do faux finishing?
It's not a thing here. It's not really a thing here.
The 90s called and wants their
so one of my first things that I did in this when I got here, and
shame to the faux finishers out there that are still like those dinosaurs that are still making those splashy paint walls.
Aaron Mattis out of Hotchkiss. So what I did when I first got here was I started to connect with all the painters in the area, because we all have our own niche and everyone has their own specialty. And that's what gets us the callback, right? I noticed that there are different, Darren Mattis does the texture and the faux finish, and he's amazing at it. So did I want to get into it? Did I want to go and take him out for coffee and learn more about it? Sure. But it's not really something my heart was jumping onto.
Yeah.
And that's his thing. So if anyone wants faux finish, I say, hey, I know your guy. Give him a call.
Well, you guys found Fresco. Let's jump to the.
So we started Fresco.
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful conversation all the time, sending you a text message, getting a call back, ordering product, questions answered. I love this camaraderie that we've created, but I don't know anything else outside of Fresco Harmony.
Yeah.
So I go to this drywall place and he's got walls of fresco. He's got a whole office of fresco.
Yeah.
But every wall is different and every wall is a different product.
Yeah.
And it like blew my mind to realize that the drywall aspect, the motions, the way to go about it is the tools, right? They're all not the same, but they're similar, right? And so my brain went, well, if there's more than just fresco, what else is out there? And what is the reason for either sticking with one or doing different things?
Yeah.
And it brought up conversation between Judd and I, because Judd was like, well, if there's all these different products, does Nick use fresco for certain things and then do other products in other areas of the home or whatever? Or do you just stick with fresco?
I was talking with Chad Hasser about the same thing, because he's done like a bunch of different plasters and he's come full circle back to Fresco Harmony, but he has the capacity. And we were talking, he's like, I don't do like marbling or anything like that. But if it's a simple white, like plaster, and the designer will spec like a plaster, he's like, I'll do it. You know, there are certain companies where you can get a custom color and things like that. And, you know, range hood or something small, like he'll do it. But he predominantly does Fresco Harmony. And then we were also talking about both micro cement and Tadillac. And so I think it's like in Albuquerque, especially, it would behoove me, if I was into specialty wall finishes, to learn Tadillac or micro cement, because people want that finish in their bathroom. It's a pain in the ass to do, but you do it in the stead of like tile or some other type of shower, because you can do it in wet areas. So you can finish your shower out. Well, like I've seen bathrooms, they want to charge like 30 grand, but people will pay it for that high end sort of look. Now, so if you learn to do it right, or you talk to me and we send somebody down there to learn Tadillac, or, you know, or you go somewhere and learn it from some, be like, hey man, I'll labor for you. Like teach me how to do micro cement. Like John Galtiero in Montrose does micro cement, and he's a plaster master. And he would be like, yeah, come help me out. He's a super cool dude too. Like he would teach you how to do it, you know, and you know, you could labor for him for 2 days or whatever, drive over there and like just learn the stuff. It would behoove you to learn that in that scenario. But then maybe you could sell the rest of the house on Fresco Harmony or the rest of the room. But like you guys would have another arrow in your quiver, you know, of specialty wall finish. So I would probably be inclined to send you toward the micro cement. But we also interviewed Jeremy Mistretta out of Montana, who makes a Tadillac, like real, legit Turkish, beautiful Tadillac product, you know, that you buy. He has classes that you can take the classes online. It's like $100 or something for the year. And you get these, like, he talks about like all the different application methods. It is New Age Artisans out of Montana. And he's a Tadillac expert. And he also sells products. So double whammy. We're selling product to a contractor in Telluride right now who lives in Montrose, Joel McRae. He's done a ton of fresco. They're doing a whole house. He's bought 6 custom colors from me, like in the last month. So they're getting ready for a big one, but he wanted to do Tadillac bathrooms. I put him in touch with Jeremy. Do Tadillac in the bathroom, but for the rest of your space, you can do Fresco Harmony, something more affordable to your client.
Right. Well, and we are there now, where I have a client who wants us to do, she got an estimate from Kohler to redo just her shower, and it was $25,000 for wall panels. So I said, I bet I could do something more beautiful than PVC panels.
Sure. It seems like a lot. Seems like a lot for a panel system.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But she's also way out of town. They'd be sending someone from a huge city and it might get done in 2 days, but that's not necessarily what she's looking for.
Okay.
And so being able to say like, hey, I'll learn Cadillac to be able to do this for you.
Yeah.
I already know how to do Fresco.
Jeremy wants to teach people. He wants to teach people how to do the Cadillac because he's selling a product. So, and he's a cool dude. Be like, hey, Nick said we should call you and learn.
I'm actually going to Boyd's today, so I'm going to try to get a hold of John.
But yeah, you should. I can text him and be like, I can actually text him your number and just be like, hey, call Monica. She's interested in picking your brain about micro cement. They live in Paonia. He's a cool dude.
That'd be awesome.
I'd go labor for a guy like that to Montrose for sure.
Yeah, totally. It's worth it to like have another skill set. And if you're already spreading something, there's more to it though. Chad is like, I did micro cement. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of headache. He did a job. There's another dude that trains out of Ohio. Both have been on the Jay-Z. Both have been on the Drywall Podcast. He's a great guy. He does amazing Venetian plaster, micro cement, like all that. Chad's worked with him. They did a bathroom. And I was like, who cares if it takes a lot of work to learn or do if you're charging the appropriate price? So if this lady's getting like quotes for $25K, well, I think they did that bathroom for $5,000. It took him 5 days. And Chad was like, well, I can make more money doing drywall. And I'm like, well, just charge more.
Right.
The one bathroom that I saw was like $30,000. I'm like, okay, well, I could see that. If it takes me a week or 2 weeks and I'm making $20,000 to do a Cadillac shower, sure. And and I think they would be willing to pay for that because it's unique. We saw these bathrooms in Tulum when I was in Tulum, Mexico, that are all plastered out, wall, ceiling, like everything. And there's no threshold in the shower. You just walk into a plaster bathroom and you're taking a shower in the plaster. It goes up the sink. The sink is all plaster. Everything was plaster. And I was like, this is so cool.
So gorgeous.
People don't do it,
But that's kind of the Cadillac micro cement. And the Cadillac, yeah.
Both.
Okay. Actually, okay. So one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast was for you to be able to re-explain the answer to the question that I had for you based on the softness. So I went into Boyd.
First of all, Nick Boyd, you better call me sucker. We're gonna have a talk.
Okay. So, but this is great, right? This is why we decided to do this podcast was because of this answer. So I went into the drywall. He said, there's so many plaster options. Why just fresco? And I said, no, I just didn't know there were more. Right. So then it became an idea of, well, are there appropriate places for different products? And what also interested me was the idea that, so what he said he mixes and matches products sometimes.
Yeah.
That sometimes he'll put Venetian plaster on a wall, but he loves using your gel sealer because of the way that it's able to be applied.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like having a loose gallon of water that he's got to put on. He likes the gel.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting for me too. It was like, holy shit, like if we were to able to really learn all of the different types of, are we calling them wall covering or wall treatment? What is
specialty wall finishes is what I call them.
Wall finishing, right? So if we looked into all of these, would we be able to have enough knowledge to kind of mix and match and create the wall for the job versus needing to pick one product and stick with that kit, if you will?
Yeah. And great question. So Fresco Harmony solved the problem of, how do I go over this? How do I go into a room that's textured and painted like my ugly room and and do like, I just want a plaster finish. I want it cheap and easy. That's what Fresco Harmony is. Sorry.
It's okay. Well, and what you were saying to me was the idea of these harder, plasters.
Yes, it's a double-edged sword. This part is important. Just because plaster is harder doesn't necessarily mean that it's better.
Or
So
doing
when you have a plaster surface, especially the shiny stuff that's really expensive, you have this shiny marble plaster that looks gorgeous that costs you $50,000 to do a wall or whatever. They pride themselves in how much it costs. Well, don't breathe on that wall and don't spill anything on it, or heaven forbid you bump it with something and have to fix it because it's impossible to fix. A fresco, the simplicity of Fresco Harmony creates it to be repairable. And even if you can't like quite faux out a patch or fix a patch, you can reskim the whole wall. Your color's going to be perfect. You're not reinventing the wheel. I just went and did jobs from 10 years ago. 2 weeks ago, I did 2 jobs, separate jobs from 8 years ago, 9, 10 years ago, whatever it was. The color matched perfect. I was able to blend in some areas. I refinished a whole wall in one scenario. One of the ceilings had water damage. They're trying to sell the house. I was able to go in and fix it. So those are the advantages. Softer doesn't always mean worse. Softer can mean better because, like, yeah, maybe the wall will get damaged a little easier, but it's easier to repair. So you're protecting your investment. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of plaster to install. So now instead of going to the client with a bid for, they want plaster, and be like, okay, well, I can give you plaster for $10 a square foot, but here's fresco for $4 a square foot, choose. This one's a minimum $5,000 bid, and this one's a minimum $2,000 bid or $1,500 bid. That's a significant difference.
Yeah. Well, and being able to, we discussed the idea on the phone the other day of how to market fresco outside of the E's and the DIYers, because I think that the product should be marketed to really.
No, we don't want to talk about painters. Don't bring up painters, Judd.
The people that buy Prada and Coach, the people that want something because it's expensive.
Yeah.
I want to go, I'm the marketer, right? So it's only me, and I make a Facebook post with some pictures and some, we do it all. We do it the right way. The things.
Yeah.
But I started marketing fresco as, you want Venetian plaster but can't afford it? Here's your next best option.
Yeah.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
Where I kind of want to switch that though. And I want to romanticize and make fresco a rich feeling so that it's not, pick this option because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Pick this option because it is just as beautiful as Venetian plaster.
Yes.
And you get to bring local people in versus having to call someone out from Grand Junction.
There you go.
How do I slide that?
Well, and John Galtiero has also done a ton of like traditional Venetian plaster as well. So he could talk to you. He could talk more about that point. But yeah, if I want to do like let's say I do a whole house in fresco, maybe I do the bathroom in Tadlac, and then I do Venetian plaster on the fireplace. Sure, why not? Or like to your point, the challenge with your point is this. If there were enough clients, then that market would be bigger. Like people are like, oh, Venetian plaster is making a comeback. And I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I think a lot of that is because I promote Fresco Harmony constantly on social media and all over the place. You've got these finishes. The problem is like these classes will tout like, oh, come learn Venetian plaster. It's a $1,500 class. But then Chad's like, to do a plaster wall, it's the bucket of material is like $400, like this specific material that we were talking about. I was like, you're kidding me, dude. And, to do a range hood, okay, well, that's one thing. But like, that's a tougher sell, man. Not everybody who wants to brag about how much they pay for their walls. That sounds romantic and fine, but like at the end of the day, you still got to prep that textured painted wall in Paonia. You got to prep it out prior to the plaster, the whatever you're using on that surface, Tadlac, micro cement, plaster. It's got to be level 5, sanding dust all over the place. as opposed to going in, masking it off, and just doing fresco. It's like,
Not one piece of sandpaper in this process. That's awesome.
I mean, you can a little sculpting. There's some shedding. It's going to make a mess. Nothing like freaking plaster, though. Nothing.
And that's how we got into this.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, because of the lack of dust.
Because Bill's wife has lung issues.
Yeah.
And he didn't want any dust in the house. And I mean, even with not dusting, he was right behind us with a vacuum, making sure every little piece was picked up off the floor so it didn't get crushed and go into there. I mean, and so it was such a beautiful thing to like, there's one point where it's like, listen, there's a great selling point. You know? Are you the kind of person that wants low VOC paint and not a lot of chemicals in your house?
There's a ton of selling points. I just had somebody come on to the Fresco Harmony page and be like, there's no comparison. There's no comparing. I wrote like Fresco Harmony or Venetian plaster and I posted 2 photos. There's no comparing Fresco Harmony to Venetian plaster. And I was like, yeah, there is comparing Fresco Harmony to Venetian plaster. Because Venetian plaster is complicated and expensive. And that's fine. If you can find clients and you want to do it, that's fine. I'm into selling product and transforming people's homes. Making it affordable, making it accessible to painters, to DIY people, to drywallers. Now all of a sudden drywallers can make more money doing it. And it's not a nightmare. I'll send you a color pack, try it out, make a sample, do a wall in your own home before you go getting crazy with, and you guys are now curious about other methods. That's Fresco Harmony helping the industry, not hurting it in any way. And Jeremy, Mistretta has a podcast called The Aggregate, and he had me on his podcast when we talked about how these products can work together, or like what we're discussing, maybe do the fireplace or an accent wall in plaster, do the rest of the house in fresco. It's not going to cost them $50,000. Yeah. I would try selling your client on, let's do the accent wall, tape the damn seams, and for an extra $1,000, we'll just finish the room in fresco. You know what I mean? You're already there.
Right.
So, this wall is going to cost you $500, or we'll just do the whole rest of the room for $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever you guys are charging. But that's the leverage. You can do that with fresco. Oh, I just need another color pack. Buy a gallon of sealer. It's accessible. It's easy. That sort of thing. Paint by numbers.
Mm-hmm. Well, and having it up in the shops in Montrose has made it even more accessible. It's like, I remember coming to you and being like, I was supposed to order product 3 days ago and now I need it like tomorrow. And you're like,
I told you guys, I told you guys a year ago that it was.
I know. I finally went up there and I was just blown away. And it's like, wow, the product's right here. Yeah. I don't have to bother Nick because I messed up or didn't order in time.
Well, I need to do a training in Montrose too, because we also sell it out west Drywall Supply in Montrose. The only town outside of Albuquerque that has 2 locations to buy the product, which is also doubly nice because if you need 5 color packs, you need, and they haven't ordered it in right away, you have another store that you can go to, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, we'll do it. I mean, I've been threatening to do it for a long time. We've been over there for 4 years and it's like right in my backyard and I need to drive up there and do a training. We are doing a training in Albuquerque in a month. I haven't announced it on Instagram yet, but at New Mexico Plaster Supply here in Albuquerque, I'm going to post it on the Instagram page. They're going to have food. We're going to do giveaways.
Bottles and stuff. What are you giving away? T-shirts or?
Probably just color
packs or some actually functional stuff.
Probably just color packs and sealer. It's like drugs. Judd, you give away a little bit, you get them hooked, then they come back for more.
I'm sober, man.
Yeah,
it's the gateway. Fresco's a gateway drug. Now
Fresco is a gateway drug.
Now you guys are talking about Tadlac.
It's the cannabis of the.
I mean,
it's a cannabis.
Oh my god! Excuse me.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go smoking crack before you've done like your fair share of weed.
Tadlac is the crack.
Nick Harmon.
Tadacrack.
He's just a painter. Okay. I'm supposed to be just a painter, and here you come in, and now all of a sudden I'm telling people I can do Cadillac showers.
We're not going to say that.
Who am I kidding? No, but I really can, and I really want to, and I'm really excited about it.
You should. And I think that's
I know.
Wait a second. Is Asia's chiming in now?
Yeah.
Phones on with music playing, so I can barely hear them, but I can hear her.
That's funny. I can't believe you can hear Monica.
I know. It's so weird.
But yes, that's the point.
And it's like, wow, what else?
Everybody's into this stuff too. I think people get into this stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, you have to mix mud and you got to put it on the wall. It's really hard. You guys have you've taken to it. And I think there's something to that. All of the drywallers that I interview on the Drywall Podcast have a common thread, and it's that they love the mud. And drywallers can be pretentious, as can plaster people. We don't want to show people, and they get looked down on. But it takes a tremendous amount of skill to do both fresco harmony and drywall and plaster. They all take a lot of skill. Everybody's proud of what they do, and that's great. But I think if you have that little bug in you that says, this is neat, I want to learn more, follow that instinct, because there is good money in it. And you can advertise in Paonia that you do micro cement showers. That's powerful, man. Nobody else is doing it. And you can do fresco harmony. Do micro cement in the shower. We'll do the whole bathroom. We'll do the rest of the master bedroom in fresco harmony. Here's one low cost, It separates you, and now you can finish drywall if you have to finish drywall. Go learn about, the dynamics of finishing drywall. Do a couple jobs, and figure that out, because that's key. You can make really good money doing patching, man. And
patching is something we know how to do, but what I can say I definitely don't have the confidence in is, fresh, like this upcoming one. Judd has more confidence in me. He'll be going on it. But completing a drywall from only having drywall on the wall, tape, no mud. And
Judd, I would check out Ken Landon. It's Drywall by Kenny or something. I can share a link with you guys, but he just started posting. He's a 40-year drywall guy. It's like paint by numbers. He's breaking it down from mud consistency to spotting screws to putting your tape on to, and it's all in order. There's 16 posts on his Instagram page because he just started doing this, posting in professional photography. It's pretty cool. And he's done a little fresco.
Well, I just want to say one of the biggest things about this entire thing is you.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here.
Wouldn't be here.
It's been incredible.
We smeared a little bit of you on several walls around town every time, Nick.
Yeah, if I find a little hair in the box, I make sure to stick it in.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, it's not conducive to somebody just taking the product and going and doing it. This is an integral part of Fresco Harmony, is the customer service. If you have any issues, you can call me or email me or text me, or what. I can steer you towards one of the 80-some videos on the YouTube page. There's a lot of resources. That's key, because it's not just dumping color into mud. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, all the videos have been priceless. You can't. That's exactly what you need, and I can learn from them very quickly. So they've been.
That's good feedback. I remember early on doing drywall, and the designer was walking through. I had Fresco Harmony was in my brain, and I had done a couple remedial projects 20 some years ago, and I remember the designer walking through the job, and they're picking colors and doing this and that, and I was like, if she only knew, I could see it then. This house should be finished in Fresco Harmony. And now we have projects in Telluride. They're doing whole houses. I'm talking to designers in Aspen who are requesting custom colors from exclusive paint companies. They're like, can you get this color? And it's like, sure, we can get any color. Their applicator there is doing a whole house, but they're picking colors. I'm not even those guys are used to doing plaster, but they're doing Fresco Harmony now. In Albuquerque, we have 4 or 5 different builders that are doing Fresco Harmony on whole houses. And that's just I'm just dealing with the fallout. Like they want a sample, or a weird color difference or something. And those applicators are doing, entire houses.
Is Mountain Builders, have they gotten a hold of you? Because I saw like 4 white big ass trucks up at the gas station the other day. I wanted to know if they were building something around here.
I have a question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
He said no.
I am moving to Grand Junction
Okay.
this actually more like this spring, probably.
DJ.
Yeah, and so after this is over, whatever, if you want to, I'd like to talk to you if you have any connections there or resources in Grand Junction. Do you sell product there?
We do sell product in Grand Junction at Out West Drywall Supply, and Tomahawk. He's a drywall artist of the year, Termtex Drywall Artist of the Year. Lives outside of Grand Junction. Great guy. He's been on the podcast. You could listen to my episode with him. Tom A. Hawks is his name.
Oh, okay.
Tomahawk.
I put Tomahawk.
Tomahawk Drywall. But his drywall is Tomahawk.
Okay.
He just did a fresco project that was posted on Facebook. Great guy. Done.
Nice, thank you.
So you have all the resources, and they're not using the resources in Out West, because another problem with the retailers that I'm having is that they're not selling, especially Nick Boyd. No, I'm joking.
God damn it, Nick.
Don't use. I know we carry fresco, just don't use it.
I swear to God. Oh my God.
But have you
hate
seen
me.
plaster? It's been around for
I'm going to
thousands of
see him
years.
today. Please don't make him hate me.
No, tell him you talked to me, and I'm looking for him. I'm looking to track him down.
Nick's
No.
in Albuquerque right now, by the way.
No, you are set up in Grand Junction for Fresco Harmony, and it's a fantastic market for Fresco Harmony, and people aren't utilizing that market at all. So not only would you have more, just a broader market to market in, but we're right there. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, Nick. So
Yeah, Tom's a pro drywaller, man. He's like one of the best.
I want to get beyond that DIY as a real relationship with you into more of a where you're calling me up on my birthday and stuff because you're so pleased to know me. You know what I'm saying?
Free trowels.
I'll call you on your birthday. I'll call you on your birthday regardless.
March 5th.
Oh yeah,
Where is it? March 10th?
March 5th. Oh shit.
March 5th? Well, it's coming right up.
In 1 month.
I'm
Oh my
putting it on
gosh,
the
he's turning,
calendar now.
Judd's turning 25.
Yes.
Yep. I think I'm gonna go blue next time. The guy put too much silver in the hair dye last
Way
time.
too much.
Oh, I already
Yeah,
have it in
that's what I
there.
said.
Is Asia gonna come onto the screen so that we can get a look at her?
Hello.
There she is. Hi, Asia. How are you?
She was on the floor.
You were playing. Wait, Asia was playing music. Is that correct?
She's got her buds on.
Headphones that are a headband.
Oh, you're not actually playing the guitar or something?
No, I wish I was.
I was like, Asia's like a music producer or something. That's what I was thinking in my head.
No, we've
Not
got the wah, wah, wah going on in there.
All right, fair enough. Well, thanks you guys. Hopefully this was informative to our audience. Drywall Marvin, Paul Archuleta. Look at all these people. Pete Davis, my stepdad's joining
Hey, stepdad.
from Walla Walla, Washington. We got the Newfie Taper from Newfoundland. Drywall Jesse. They were just learning. Drywall Jesse's up in Ohio with Chad and Mike. Mike's just learning micro cement up there with Jay-Z Drywall. Another contact you could talk to about this stuff is Jay-Z. He is a fantastic plaster person. You could talk to him. Anne Marie, of course. RG Drywall.
Is he married to Beyonce still? Jay-Z? Is that the same
I
guy?
do believe they're still married.
Is it? I want to say John. His name's John as well.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Yes.
No, Zulke. John Zulke. And I don't think he is in the music industry. No, he's just a plaster guy. But he has classes up in Ohio. He does classes for micro cement and stuff.
Well, thank you for being you. I love that you're just so willing to not just sell your product, but be a part of teaching and engaging and connecting, communicating. That's really what I want to engage with Paonia Property Services. Like I said earlier, it's like there's always going to be painters around me, and I don't ever want to feel like there's competition. We just all have our niches.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with drywall. It's the same thing with, everything else on the market. So thank you for just being open to understanding that, like, it's not just one product all the time. It's not just, oh, you're a painter, you don't do drywall, we're not going to give you the time of day.
Right.
It's been an incredible learning experience because you've been available and open and answer all these questions that some people would feel uncomfortable to ask. And you're never uncomfortable. You never.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Dumb or anything like that.
At the end of the day, it's the feeling that you get.
Mm-hmm.
You can make money with it, but man, it feels good to do those projects. You guys did that cool fireplace with the swirl. Like, how did that feel at the end? And the client comes in and is like, "Are you kidding me? This looks gorgeous." It doesn't matter that you're using colored joint compound or whatever, and sealers and stuff. You guys did an amazing job. The client's blown away. You feel good. You make a little bit of money. It's a cool thing, I mean, maybe more so. You get that from painting, but I don't think quite to the extent like you get that like artistic sort of.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
We take a lot of pride.
Also, if you're in the Paonia area, look up Paonia Property Services. They can find out about you and follow Monica Schaefer on Instagram. All your favorites. She does some fabulous TikTok stuff. Amazing singer. I want to add that. And Judd, are you on social media, Judd, or do you just ride the coattails of Monica all the time?
Really wishes he didn't.
But Judd's in front.
Off social media because I was on
the guy that's on the ladder with the head.
Yeah, Judd's on the ladder, like doing the damn work.
Keep the business
Judd's
coming.
laughing
I know
to
where
himself
I'm good.
with
You
his
do
podcast.
That.
But
really spread my social media wings.
Yeah, or not. You do. Do you have a website, or how do people find out about Paonia Property Services?
We do have a website. I will say most of the photos are stock still because I just made one up and forgot about it. But you can go to paoniapropertyservices.com.
Okay, great.
Or you can find us at Paonia Property Services on Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook is my general means of advertising, media, stuff like that, making videos and posting.
Okay.
I just spend so much time on my phone that the idea of going into multiple apps is hard.
A lot of the people that I mentioned are predominantly on Facebook too, just FYI.
Okay. So, maybe as we get bigger or whatever, I'll venture into other apps. But for right now, Facebook is pretty convenient.
Monica, Judd, Asia doing work on the ground over there. She's in the background. She's the ornament. Thank you guys for being candid and going live and also supporting Fresco Harmony too. I appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Which I thank you, Nick. And just so you know that Fresco Harmony is a great product, but it's something we might not have clung on to this long if you hadn't been involved.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
Had you not been accessible,
you're encouraging and we got this, you got this, and everything has been very simple.
Good.
Because of you.
Yep.
So it's very accessible and not intimidating. Thank you.
Well, it's fun to watch. It's also fun, like, I do it, but it's fun to watch people do it and like, like you birth this thing and it's like there's, they're like little soldiers. These color packs are like little soldiers going out into the world. Transforming spaces.
Oh my gosh. Well, the work looking, so we had this client that we just finished with the ceiling. We had her last year. So last January, we did her one main ceiling. And this January, we did her bedroom ceilings. They were all super heavy popcorn. Remember, it was 80 square feet, I think, per bag of mud for the first coat.
Yeah, I remember.
It was crazy. But
I remember I kept telling you to like buy plenty of product, and you were so we
finished the season, and we still had
cheaper in shipping. It's cheaper in shipping if you just buy a bunch right up front.
Yeah, and then I don't call you at 9 p.m. at night going, I need product tomorrow morning. But we had product left over, and she's like, could you just finish? Could you get this hallway over here?
Mhm.
And let me tell
I
you,
sold it. No, she didn't.
Yeah.
we did sell it.
Yeah.
But being able to go from one side of the house and see our first like huge wall space of fresco, and then seeing what it's like just a year later, it's really incredible. The growth and the, what would you call that? The
Evolution.
The evolution of
Skill gaining.
Yep.
Skill learning.
and so quickly, and just with a couple of jobs in between.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
So simple, a painter can do it. That's my new. Oh boy. No,
I'm glad you're starting.
well, I mean, drywall. There's nobody that drywallers can really make fun of. On the job site, we're the bottom feeders, so we got to do the best we can, man.
Painters around, okay, cool.
Well, they have to give us
it.
a hard time because aren't the painters usually the ones that come in last and they're like, oh, everybody sucks. They all get their job wrong.
Prima donnas. For sure.
Who did this?
Yeah.
I'll caulk it up.
Cool.
You're the man, Nick.
All right, you guys have a good day. We'll talk soon. Much love.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Peace. Huge shout out to Monica and Judd for being with us on the Drywall Podcast today. You guys are awesome. I love talking with you. Continue to crush it. Learn Tadlact. Learn micro cement. Learn plaster. Keep doing Fresco Harmony. People, learn as much as you can. I think that Monica and Judd are inspirational and smart too. It gives you so many sales options out there. It's just something to consider. Whatever it is, learning new tools, for example. And speaking of tools, this episode was sponsored by CanAm Tools. Over 50 years of semi-auto finishing tools, made in Canada and trusted by pros around the world. If today's episode got you thinking about your toolkit, maybe it's time to take a look at what CanAm offers. And if you run a supply house or a tool dealership like the one in Albuquerque that I'll be at tomorrow showing off CanAm tools, you should check out CanAm Tools on www.canamtool.com. They would love to hear from you. And tell them Nick from the Drywall Podcast sent you. You can join the ranks of such greats as Paul from Manor Builder Products out of New Zealand, who's actually going to be with us next Friday on the Drywall Podcast. Stay tuned for that as well. Curious about being a guest on the Drywall Podcast or sponsoring a month of the Drywall Podcast, you can reach out to me directly at info@frescoharmony.com. I would love to hear from you. You guys have a lot of options to listen to when you head over to the radio to listen to something, whether it's on your way to work or maybe you're at work, pushing the mud and crushing it. Today, you chose the Drywall Podcast to listen to, and I appreciate you for that. Oh man, it's been a week. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend or week or whatever you're heading into. And remember, keep drywalling.